all this shake out? What are the results of all these improvements? Well, it's a little difficult to explain, so we shot another video to show a comparison of MIUI 9 running on Redmi Note 4 and the Samsung J7 Max. And we compared the top app launch times for the top 50 apps in India. And we actually have another video showing the results here. So let's take a look. Thank you. So as you can see, MIUI 9 and the Redmi Note 4 was faster on 34 out of the 50 apps. But once you actually launch the app, the most important thing is how smooth is the experience? How well does it perform? And we spent a lot of time on this in MIUI 9. Ton of optimizations. I could spend hours talking about this. Actually, probably we could spend a few days. We'll try to keep it brief. I'm going to just talk about 3 of these things. So this one at the top left here, automatic background activity management. Basically what we do is we take the stuff that is not time sensitive that's happening in the background, and we make sure that it runs in serial, so one after another instead of all at the same time. And this is so that the stuff that's happening in the foreground doesn't have any bottlenecks because of background activity. Next, we have dynamic resource allocation. This makes sure that the hardware, things like CPU, your RAM, ROM, read-write speeds, input-output, that all of those resources are dedicated to the stuff that you're actively doing. And again, things that are happening in the background use a little bit less power. And then the third thing here is improved data transmission efficiency. So much like the other things, this makes sure that when you're using an app, the available bandwidth that you have is prioritized to that app. If you're downloading something, but you're playing a game, your game will get the priority bandwidth to make sure it doesn't affect your gaming experience. And all of these things are focused on making the UI smooth. So the things that happen in the background don't affect what you're actively doing. And we showed an earlier test. This test, I think, is one of the most important things we do. It's a 6-hour test, which is designed to simulate the user experience. We do a bunch of system functions like scrolling through the UI, browsing home screens, but also third-party apps, things like browsing your Facebook news feed, sending WhatsApp messages, and we try to simulate what is a real-world experience. How does it work? And this test precisely measures latency. What we do is we use a high-speed camera and detect any latency over 100 milliseconds. It's a little bit easier to explain with the video. I actually took a tour of our labs a few weeks ago. We have a bunch of robots to do this very precisely. Robots are always cool. So let's take a look at the video here.
कोबरा सेट फिक्स है इनकी सैमसंग में भी और ओप्पो में भी और अब देखना तारीफें करेगी दुनिया भर की ओप्पो की सुनो तारीफें सुनो इसकी
And once again, I welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, capture the real you. This is the catchphrase that has already created a lot of
So over the 6-hour test, the J7 Max has more than 45% cumulative lag time. But I think these results probably don't surprise many of you.